Welcome to another Tech Help video brought to you by AccessLearningZone.com. I'm your instructor, Richard Rost. Today we are continuing the decision tree series. This is part 2. We're going to build the tables. If you have not yet watched part 1, go watch this first so you understand what we're doing and what all the prerequisites are and all that other good stuff. It's a free video. It's on my website. It's on my YouTube channel. Go watch that and come on back. All right, so the nice thing about a decision tree is that the table structure is extremely simple. All of this stuff is one table. That's it, one table. You're going to have a record, and each record is going to have a parent ID to the record above it. So for example, weather wouldn't have a parent, so its ID will be 0, or you can make it null, whatever you prefer. This guy, Sunny, would have its own ID, right? But it would also have a parent ID. So now you can know who its parent is, right? And to show all of the children for a particular node, you would just list all of the other records that have a parent ID equal to this one, right? So if this guy is record 1, Sunny, Overcast, and Rain would all have parent IDs that are 1. See how simple that is? Just one table to worry about. All right, so I'm going to start off with my Tech Help free template. This is the database I use for most of my Tech Help videos because it's already got all the basics in it that we need to teach most lessons, right? And if you've been following my YouTube channel for any amount of time, you're familiar with this database. Now, what we're going to do is we're basically going to gut it. We're going to delete all the stuff out that we don't need. So we're going to delete all of the tables. We're going to delete all of the queries. We're going to delete all of the forms except for the template forms, the main menu, and that trusted form. So we can get rid of contact F. And I'm holding down the control key right now, by the way, guys. This stuff, this stuff, this stuff. Leave main menu because that will keep the main menu. Keep this because that's a part of a different thing. If you load up the database from a non-trusted location, this form comes up. Get rid of those. All right, get rid of the order invoice. And we'll leave all the rest of this code stuff down here too, like the open main menu macro and that. So select all those things, hit delete. It's going to say, are you sure? Yep. Goodbye. And it's going to say order T's got some relationships. We're going to delete those. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. All right, so that's what we have left in our database. And we'll get to working on this main menu in a little bit. But next up is to create the table that we need for our, let's call them questions. You can call them nodes, you can call them questions, whatever. I'm going to make it a question because basically each one of these is a question. Have you tried this? What's the status of that, right? That kind of stuff. Or if you're doing the game design, right, you're going to say, okay, you walk into a dungeon and blah, 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 blah. And you're going to end it with a question, right? What do you do now? And the answers to that, the actions to that will be all of the titles of the next set of questions, right? So we're going to create a table. All right, this will be our question table. So we're going to start with question ID. That's our auto number. Every table should have an auto number. Now we have to have a link back up to the previous, to the parent record. So parent ID, that'll be a number of type long integer. All right, we'll default that to 0. You can use 0, you can use null, whatever. Okay, description, that'll be short text. And then notes is long text. And notes is one of my only exceptions to the singular rule. I try to keep all of my fields singular, but I've been doing notes for 30 years now. So it's always going to be notes, not note. I'm sorry. Just that's how it's going to be, folks. There's exceptions to every rule. Okay? That's it. That's really all you need in this table for the basic functionality. We might add some stuff later on. All right, let's save this as my question T, my question table. And now we're ready to put some data in here. Now, it's always easier to work with building a database if you got some sample records in there to start with. So we'll put some sample records in here. All right, now the first thing, we'll do 3 different decision trees. You can have as many as you want, obviously. But we'll do a PC troubleshooting decision tree. We'll do an access database help decision tree. And we'll do a dungeon crawl. I'll show you how to do it, how to make a game with this. Okay, games are always fun. When you're learning something like Access, it's more fun to do it like as part of a game because then you can have fun with it too instead of just it being all about work, right? All right, I'm going to maximize this because it's easier to work with tables and queries and stuff when they're maximized. All right, and the notes field we're going to make nice and big, and we're going to make a form later on to be able to do this stuff. I'm going to make these a little bit taller because this is going to be notes type stuff. All right. Now, I've already typed a lot of this stuff in, so I'm not going to make you sit here and watch me type. But what will the first node, the first question for PC troubleshooting be? All right, I'm going to put in here, welcome to Rick's PC troubleshooting decision tree. Let's start with the basics. Does the PC turn on? So the next nodes under that will be answers to that question. All right, let's go down here and work on that next. Okay, so the parent ID for the node under PC troubleshooting is going to be 1, right? This guy's parent is going to be 1. See how this works? So right down here now, we have to answer the question, does the PC turn on? So yes, PC turns on. And then the next one, parent 1, no, PC does not turn on. Okay, see how that works? So these guys are the children under this node. And this will be a lot more evident when we get to building the forms, but it's easier to have some data in here first. All right, so now let's work on this one. All right, so yes, the PC turns on. So what's the text for that one? That's good, your PC turns on, it's getting power. Does Windows boot? This would be the next question I'd ask, right? All right, so let's work under that one now. So next, the next node under this guy, all right, this guy is question ID 4. So the child under that, the parent will be 4. All right, and then we'll say yes, Windows boots. And then no, Windows does not boot. And I like to have, instead of just yes and no, I like to put a little more description in here, because when you jump from this node to this node, it helps you to know where you were before. Okay, and yeah, we're going to do something where you can see a list of all your previous answers. That's coming. I got a lot of options for later on, but we're just keeping it simple for now. All right, so yes, Windows boots. Awesome, Windows boots. Are you able to run applications? Would be the next one. Right, and then you'd continue down here, right, with the next children under node 6. All right, but we're going to stop at this point. You can keep building this, keep adding stuff to it. Okay, how about no, Windows does not boot? Well, we can end it right here with just reinstall or repair Windows. That's it, I'm done. Right, and you can put like finished here, or contact tech support, or whatever you want to say. All right, now let's go back up. So we got yes, PC turns on, no, PC does not turn on. Let's continue this branch under question 5. All right, so the PC doesn't turn on. How about, all right, your PC isn't turning on. That's not a good idea. That's not good. Is it plugged in? All right, so now we're going to continue down here under 5. So the parent ID here is 5. Is it plugged in? Yes, it's plugged in. And then we've got 5. No, it's not plugged in. Okay, so for yes, it's plugged in. All right, is it plugged into a power strip? Believe me, I've had this happen. I used to do PC tech support, and I've went out to multiple customers who swore to me it was plugged in and it wasn't in a power strip. And I get out there and there's a power strip under the desk that they accidentally kick with their foot, and now the switch is off. That'll be a $100 service call, ma'am. Thank you. Have a nice day. But see, this is a good reason, because when I used to do classroom training for another company who will remain nameless back in the 90s, and I developed all of their training for onboarding new employees. And the problem is that it took a while to get, we were doing tech support on the phone for different software applications, but it would take those techs a while to get to the point where they could just knew what questions to ask the person on the phone. So I developed something similar to this. It was basically a decision tree knowledge base that they could just run through while they were on the phone with the customer and ask them these questions in series, and it would eventually drill down to what the problem was. So that's why something like this is very powerful as a way to help people understand how to diagnose and fix problems. All right, so yes, it's plugged in. We'll come down here. We'll go under node 8 now. Okay, is it on a power strip? All right, so yes, it's on a power strip. Or 8, no, it's not. It's plugged directly into the wall outlet. Okay. All right, yes, it's on a power strip. What's the next question? Is the power strip switched on? All right, and then come down here. We're going to go under node 10 now. Yes, it's switched on. And that could be like a bad power supply or something in the computer. All right, contact tech support. Or 10, no, it's not switched on. And the answer to that would be, well, there you go, dummy. Flip that switch. Okay. And if you could continue from this point, does it work now, right? And then I like to go back up to the previous one this way, right? All right, so no, it's plugged directly into the wall. And then you could continue on with something like, plug something else like a lamp into the wall socket. Does the lamp work? And you can continue on with that. If the lamp doesn't work, then the socket's bad, right? Contact an electrician, that kind of stuff. Okay, no, it's not plugged in. Right? Well, there you go, dummy. Plug that sucker in, and so on. And you can continue down the list, right? So there's your PC troubleshooting branch. Okay, now you can come up and continue with the next branch if you want. All right, access database help. Right? Welcome to the Rick's Access Database Troubleshoot. Does the database start? That kind of stuff. Or you could, instead of just asking yes or no questions, you could say, what is the problem, and have a list of popular problems. Right? I'm getting a compile error, the startup form won't load, and have them pick from a list of 10 different options if you want to. All right, let's take a look at how to do the dungeon crawl. We'll come back to the access database help in a future lesson, because I want to actually flesh this out and put this on my website. Because one of my goals eventually is to take this access database and move it online so that we can use the decision tree on the web, right? And that way your users can just run through it and use your knowledge base. All right, let's do the dungeon crawl game. Welcome to Rick's Dungeon Crawl. Please select the character class to begin your adventure. See, we can do multiple options. So now this is question parent 3, so we're going to come way down here and work on 3 now. Okay. All right, we'll do 3 is a fighter. Or excuse me, 14 to be a fighter. The next 3 would be, we'll do a wizard. We'll do a thief. Oh, I always spell thief wrong I always spell it wrong the first time because you think T-H-E, and then you see it and then you know it's wrong. I've been doing that since I was a kid. It's one of those words. And then we'll do a cleric. Cleric. Okay. And now the interesting thing is you can tell the same story in your game, but you can change the options based on the character. For example, let me just show you here. I'm not going to spend a ton of time on this. But let's say you've got the fighter. Okay, I got these already written out. All right. So, greetings, mighty warrior. You take your trusty sword and head into the dungeon. After walking about 20 feet into the dank cavern, you see a group of 3 goblins sitting at a table playing some sort of dice game. What do you do? Right? And the story can change for the wizard. The wizard's story would be like this. Greetings, O brilliant and magical mage. You arm yourself with your trusty spellbook and staff and make your way into the dungeon. And then from that point, it's the same. See? After walking about 20 feet in the cavern, you see 3 goblins, blah, blah, blah. And the thief, likewise, would get a slightly different story. Greetings, cunning master thief. You gather your whip, thieves' tools, and other miscellaneous adventuring gear and head into the dungeon. And then finally, for the cleric, right, you got greetings, wise and faithful brother. You gather your holy symbol and hammer and head into the dungeon, and so on. So the story's slightly different, even though it's basically the same stuff. Okay, now you can give each one of these player types a different set of options. So, for example, all right, so fighter, so question 14, so now we're under 14. All right, so 14, we're going to give him 4 options. So he might have attack with my sword, right? Ask to join their game. Run away, or quietly try to sneak past. Okay? And then the wizard might have slightly different options. All right, so the wizard, who is 15, right, we'll give him 5 options. Okay, he might have attack with my staff of lightning bolts. Okay, maybe cast a sleep spell. And then you can give him the other same options, right? Ask to join the game. Run away. Or quietly try to sneak past. And you can see how you can continue this on for the other character types, right? The thief might have a different set of options, right? Attack with my whip, throw a dagger at one of the goblins, or the other 3 standard options. And of course, the cleric would have his options. And then you can tailor the story based on the character type. So quietly try to sneak past. If you're the fighter and you got, swords and armors and all kinds of clanky stuff, you ain't sneaking past. but the thief character might have a better chance of sneaking past, so that his story could change. He could sneak past the goblins, and so on, right? And yeah, maybe later on, if you guys are enjoying this and you give me some feedback and that's what you want to see, maybe we'll add some randomness to it, right? Where the next set of options could be like, okay, they got to roll D20, and if it's a 10 or lower, they succeed and they can continue on this way. So there's all kinds of stuff you could do with this thing. So you can use it for business, you can use it for, troubleshooting, you can use it for, well, all those things I mentioned in the first lesson. All right, a knowledge base, diagnosis, risk assessment, all this stuff, learning paths. All right, do you know, if you're doing Excel, do you know how to, sort a column, that kind of stuff? No, you don't? Okay, this is where we're starting. If you do, let's continue on. Let's see what else you know. All right, so that's it for our table. That's all we really need, right? We can save that. All right, here's my prototype database that I showed you in the last class, in the last video. So in the next lesson, what we're going to do is we're going to work on this, our editor. So we can edit this stuff in a form setting. And when you're doing it in a form, it's a whole lot easier because you don't got to worry about all those IDs. I'm going to still display it up here, but you don't got to see it. You just type in the thing. All right, pick a character class, fighter, wizard, thief, cleric. You want to add one? All right, put a paladin on there, and then we'll continue his thing, right? You want to jump to the cleric and work on his? Double click. Boop, there we go. So we'll get to this. We'll get to this over the next couple lessons. All right, so hang in there. We're going to get there. It's not tomorrow because today is Friday, so tune in Monday. Same bad time, same bad channel. And we'll continue on with starting to build the forms. All right, but that's going to do it for your tech help video for today. Even if you didn't learn something, I hope you had some fun. And we're going to continue to have some more fun. I got to build the basic stuff first before we can get into the more advanced stuff. But for a lot of people, that self-join relationship's a new thing. People don't think that, I can relate a table to itself. Wait till we get into some of the query stuff. You're going to see it's pretty cool in the reports. But that's it. I hope you learned something. Live long and prosper, my friends. And don't forget to post a comment down below and tell me what features you'd like to see added to this decision tree database. I got at least another 5 or 6 lessons for this plan, so we're going to be having some fun with this. And yes, don't worry, members. I got some advanced stuff coming in for you too. All right. Live long and prosper, my friends. I'll see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and post any comments you may have below. I do try to read and answer all of them as soon as I can. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, which is completely free. Click the bell icon and select all to receive notifications when new videos are posted. Want to learn more? Click the Show More link below the video to find additional resources and links. YouTube does a pretty good job of hiding it. It's right down there. See this part of the description here, right? The name, the video's up here. There's a little Show More down there, right down the bottom. It's kind of hard to find. But once you click on that, you'll see a list of other videos, additional information related to the current topic, free lessons, and lots more. And YouTube no longer sends out email notifications when new videos are posted like they used to do. But if you'd like to get an email every time I post a new video, click on the link to join my mailing list. And you can pick how frequently to get emails from me, either as they happen, daily, weekly, or monthly. Now, if you'd like to become a paid member of my channel and receive all kinds of awesome perks, click on the Join button. You'll see a list of all the different membership levels that are available, each with its own special perks, including my extended cut videos, access to my code vault, lots of VBA source code in there, template downloads, and lots more. I'll talk more about these perks at the end of the video. Even if you don't want to commit to becoming a paid member and you'd like to help support my work, please feel free to click on the tip jar link. Your patronage is greatly appreciated and will help keep these free videos coming. I got some puppies to feed. But don't worry, no matter what, these free tech help videos are going to keep coming. As long as you keep watching them, I'll keep making more, and they'll always be free. Now, if you really want to learn Access and you haven't tried my free Access Level 1 course, check it out now. It covers all the basics of Microsoft Access, including building forms, queries, reports, and more. It's over 4 hours long. You can find it on my website or on my YouTube channel. I'll put a link down below you can click on. And did I mention it's completely free? The whole thing, free, 4 hours. Go watch it. And okay, a lot of you have told me that you don't have time to sit through a 4-hour course. So I do now have a quicker Microsoft Access for Beginners video that covers all the basics faster in about 30 minutes. And no, I didn't just put the video on fast forward, but I'll put a link to this down below as well. Now, if you like level 1, level 2 is just $1. That's it, $1. And that's another whole 90-minute course. Level 2 is also free for paid members of any level, including supporters. So if you're a member, go watch level 2. It's free. Okay, want to get your question answered in a video just like this one? Visit my tech help page and send me your question there. Members get priority, of course. While I do try to read and respond to all of the comments posted below in the comments section, I only have time to go through them briefly a couple of times a month, and sometimes I get thousands of them. So send me your question here on the tech help page, and you'll have a better chance of getting it answered. And while you're on my website, be sure to stop by my Access forum. We've got lots of lively conversations about Microsoft Access and other topics. I have a fantastic group of moderators who help me answer questions. Shout out to Alex, Kevin, Scott, Adam, John, Dan, Juan, and everybody else who helps out on the site. I appreciate everything you do. I couldn't do it without you. Be sure to follow my blog, find me on Twitter, and of course on YouTube. Yeah, I'm on Facebook too, but I don't like Facebook. Don't get me started. Now, let's talk more about those member perks if you do decide to join as a paid member. There are different levels: silver, gold, platinum, and diamond. Silver members and up get access to all of my extended cut tech help videos, one free beginner class every month, and some other perks. Gold members get all the previous perks, plus access to download the sample databases that I build in my tech help videos, plus access to my code vault where I keep tons of different functions that I use, the code that I build in most of the videos. You'll also get higher priority if you do submit any tech help questions. Now, answers are never guaranteed, but you do go higher in the list for me to read them. And if I like your question, you got a good chance of it being answered. You'll also get one free expert level class each month after you've finished the beginner series. Platinum members get all the previous perks plus even higher priority for tech help questions. You get access to all of my full beginner level courses for every subject. And I cover lots of different subjects like Word, Excel, VBA, ASP, lots of different stuff, not just Access. These are the full-length courses found on my website. You get all the beginner ones. In addition, once you finish the expert classes, you get one free developer class per month. So lots of training. And finally, you can also become a Diamond sponsor. You'll have your name or your company name listed on a sponsors page that will be shown on each video as long as you're a sponsor. You'll get a shout out in the video and a link to your website or product in the text below the video and on my website. So that's it. Once again, my name is Richard Rost. Thank you for watching this video brought to you by accesslearningzone.com. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something today. Live long and prosper, my friends. I'll see you again soon.